Behind me is Ushuaia and the Beagle Channel. We're at the southern tip of Argentina, and it was here over 100 years ago that a penal colony was set up, and the forced labour of the prisoners would create the prison, and there was a railway set up just a few miles away to bring stone and materials down from the mountains. We're going to take a ride on that narrow gauge train today and enjoy some of the scenery and sights and history of this lovely part of Argentina.
Our journey begins a little outside of Ushuaia's main town. The end of the world station is located about 8 kilometers, approximately 5 miles west of the city centre, towards the Tierra del Fuego National Park. Getting there is quite straightforward. We had our hire car to self-drive, but a taxi ride is only about 15 minutes. The paved roads make way for a gravel, dusty track that leads you out to the station and the entrance of the national park.
So we've arrived at the station, and it's taken us about 20 minutes outside of town to get here. We're a little bit early. Train doesn't go for about another 50 minutes. We've had to convert our voucher into a ticket, and we weren't sure, but we suspected it. You also need a national park ticket, which is not included in the original ticket price of 62,000 pesos, which is already a lot of money. So we've had to also fork out 40,000 pesos each for the privilege of going into the national park just as we're on the train. So in all, it's 104,000 pesos each, and that's about 81, 82 pounds. So it's a really expensive train ride. Let's hope it's a good one.
The train operates year-round, even in the snowy winter months. However, the schedule can vary depending on the season. It's always best to check the official website for the most up-to-date departure times. Typically, you can expect a few departures daily, often around 9:30, 12 noon and 3 p.m. during the high season, September to April. Ticket prices will vary depending on the class of service. We were on the tourist class, but there is premium class and even a VIP class, offering different levels of comfort and amenities. Book your ticket in advance, especially during peak season. It's highly recommended to secure your preferred departure time and class. You can usually book online through the official website or at the ticket office at the station. Arriving at the station, you'll find yourself in an iconic place steeped in history. The waiting area itself has a unique charm. You can explore the maintenance workshops and browse through old photographs that tell the story of the original prison train and the early days of Ushuaia. There's also a gift shop where you can pick up souvenirs to remember your journey, and a cafe to grab a drink or a snack while you wait for your train to depart. Keep an eye out for the memorabilia related to the prison and the railway's fascinating past, offering a glimpse into the lives of the prisoners who once toiled here.
Please have your train tickets and National Park entrance in hand.
It's time to board the train for a 50-minute journey covering the last 7 kilometers, about 4.3 miles of the original prisoner's route. We are provided with headphones to access the onboard audio guide system. Available in multiple languages, it'll provide a fascinating narration throughout the journey.
drinks car. I think that must be the first class.
This table there is for you, one in front of the other.
Okay, thank you.
Familia, ¿cuántos son? Tres. Por aquí, por favor.
The train features compact and antique heated carriages with wide windows, ensuring you don't miss any of the breathtaking Patagonian scenery. Pulled by a replica steam locomotive, often, and in our case the emblematic Camilla, the train chugs along at a leisurely pace, allowing you to soak up the surroundings. The audio guide will vividly recount how the original railway, established in the early 20th century, was known as the Train of Prisoners. The prisoners who were sent to this remote location to serve their sentences were forced to work hard, contributing significantly to the construction of their own prison and the development of the town. The primary purpose of the railway was to transport essential materials like rock, sand, and especially the timber from the surrounding forests to the prison and the growing settlement. Prisoners would make this journey twice a day to and from the logging camps. As the train winds its way through the stunning landscape, you'll be following a route that has witnessed a significant transformation. Whilst the current tourist train travels a portion of the original 25-kilometre track, the initial railway ran all the way to the prison in the centre of Ushuaia. Ushuaia was officially founded in 1884. Prior to the prison, there were missionary settlements and early signs of European presence. But from 1904 to 1947, this remote facility housed some of Argentina's most dangerous criminals and political prisoners. Imagine being confined, surrounded by the biting winds and unforgiving terrain of Tierra del Fuego. The conditions were brutal, and the prisoners were subjected to hard labour, a testament to the era's harsh penal system, a place of ultimate isolation. Escape was nearly impossible, and the psychological impact of the environment added to the prisoners' suffering. This isolation, combined with the extreme climate, made it a prison unlike any other. It now serves as part of a museum complex that offers a glimpse into the prison's past and the region's maritime history. You can walk through its corridors and you can feel the echoes of its former inhabitants and learn about the role the prison played in Ushuaia's development. During the ride, we traverse the Pico Valley and the Toro Gorge. The train follows the Pico River, named after a prisoner who tragically died whilst attempting to escape.
Una vez que el tren se detenga por completo y desciendan, pueden optar a caminar hacia el sector de la montaña.
A stop is made at Cascada de la Macarena station, a historical point where the original steam locomotives would replenish their water. Here you can disembark for a short walk to the Macarena waterfall and enjoy panoramic views. The waterfall was formed by meltwater descending from the mountains and flowing into the Beagle Channel.
I don't know. Is it this one? Why did you leave your headphones there? Hey?
Leaving the station behind, we chug on for the longest part of our journey, about 30 minutes, heading into the Tierra del Fuego National Park, marked by a large sign on the tracks. Continuing through the sub-Antarctic forest, we reach the poignant tree cemetery, a stark reminder of the logging activities carried out by the prisoners to supply firewood and building materials for the prison and the town. You will notice thousands of tree stumps scattered across the landscape, a silent testament to the prisoners' grueling labour and the impact of human activity on the fragile ecosystem. The stumps are all at different heights, a sign that logging continued in winter when the snow would have been packed deep, hindering the felling. Beyond its history, Tierra del Fuego National Park is a haven for wildlife, as can be seen by these beautiful wild horses. Keep your eyes peeled for Andean foxes, their sleek coats blending in seamlessly with the landscape. Bird watchers will be in paradise with the chance to spot the elusive Ushuaia snipe and a variety of other avian species. The terminus is the National Park Station. From here you can either take the return train straight away or continuing exploring the national park's beauty on foot, returning on a later service. We chose to return on the same train and then use our car to explore more of the park later in the day, making the most of our one-day national park ticket. Watch to the end to see some of the scenery we explored and the most southerly post office in the world.
Gracias. Well, what a lovely little train ride that was for the last 2 hours. Really enjoyed being on the end of world train, chugging along through the countryside there, or the national park, was quite delightful. We've had a really good afternoon. A little bit expensive. You'll have to make your own mind up if that's something you want to pay. Remember, it's not just the train ticket, it's also the national park ticket that you need as well to get in. So it does make it a little bit more expensive. And it didn't run to schedule. We were about half an hour late leaving, so a few little niggles here and there, but generally pretty good.
The entrance to the national park was just a few kilometres further west along the gravel track, and with a few hours of daylight left, we decided to make use of the ticket and pop to the most southerly post office in the world. There are hundreds of trails you can walk in the park, and we stopped at the Alacush Visitor Centre for a short walk to the Lago Roca Mirador first. The weather was on the turn and the wind decided to make itself felt. I have no idea what type of wildfowl this is. If you know, do let us know in the comments. Maybe some form of goose or duck.
Thankfully, the wind has died down a lot around this section. I think we're in a bit of a sheltered cove. So the area we're at now is the most southerly post office in the world, or so it's supposed to be, drawing lots of people here to get postcards and stamps and post in the yellow post box. But since about March this year, it's been closed. They're concerned that it's going to collapse. I don't know if it'll ever open again, but if you look at the reviews, lots of people felt that they were being ripped off with the cost of the postcards and stamps, and whatever they posted here never actually got delivered. So I think it ended up being a bit of a tourist trap, unfortunately. And now well, from the shores of the Beagle Channel here in Ushuaia, we've reached the furthest we can go in Argentina, and it's the end of our little mini-series here travelling around the southern parts of Patagonia. It's been absolutely fantastic. Hope you enjoyed being with us. Remember, we've got other trips that we did previously on Argentina, and there's links to those at the end. You can check out the playlists and see our other travels on previous trips. Subscribe now if you haven't done so yet, and we'll see you again on another video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.